We had a very specific list, a very specific budget, and 353 lots to find it in. The question was, would what we actually need be out there? Hi, and welcome back to Whitetail Acres Farm. Farm equipment auctions are one of the best resources a working farm has. Whether you're just getting started or you're trying to upgrade what you've already built, the right auction at the right time can be the difference between getting a critical piece of equipment onto your property or watching it sell to someone else for half of what the cost would be new. The thrill of the auction, the rush of the bidding, and the satisfaction of scoring something at a fraction of its value is what makes these events so exciting. In this video, we're taking you inside the Churchtown Farms Machinery Auction hosted by Martin's Auction Services in New Holland, Pennsylvania, a 2-day event with over 700 total items, and I'll walk you through our strategy, what we're looking for, and whether or not we found it. But before I show you what was on our list, I want to give you some context for why this particular auction mattered to us, because it wasn't just about finding deals. If you've been following along with our farm journey, you know that earlier this spring we won an ag sprayer at the Freddie Hill auction. It is a Hardy TR 500G pull-type sprayer with 40-foot booms and a brand new pump, and it is exactly what we need to apply our liquid Fertrell fertilizer across our nearly 30 acres of pastures and hayfields. The problem? The tires that came on it are cracked and splitting. They are not road safe. The sprayer has been sitting in our barn ready to work with the fertilizer ordered and waiting, and we cannot wait to use it, but we can't until the tires are replaced. We also need a good disc harrow. And with hay season here on 27 acres, a disc matters. If you want to break up compacted soil, incorporate cover crops, aerate, or smooth your pastures, a disc is foundational equipment. It's been on our list for a while. When we saw the list for the Churchtown Farms auction, tires, 2 disc harrows, a 2009 John Deere square baler, hay wagons, this went from something to check out to we need to be there. This was the auction, so we hopped in the car and headed to Lancaster County. The Churchtown Farms Machinery Auction is hosted by Martin's Auction Service right here in New Holland, Pennsylvania, the heart of Lancaster County farm country. This is a 2-day event. Day 1 features the larger farm machinery, and Day 2, the day that we're bidding, has 353 lots of farm-related equipment. We drove out for Day 1, not to bid, just to look, because there's a lesson that we learned the hard way that we are not forgetting anytime soon. Our first stop was walking the full lot, and I want to say the scale of an auction like this is something. When you have 353 lots spread across a working farm, you're seeing decades of equipment from every kind of operation imaginable. Some of it has been maintained with care, some of it has been worked hard, and some of it looks rough on the outside, but has generally good bones underneath. The key is knowing which is which, and that is exactly why we came out here for Day 1, the day before we're bidding. Auctions pose a real risk to buyers because you are entirely relying on information and pictures that other sellers provide. The true condition of equipment isn't always disclosed. If you're bidding on larger or more expensive items, you can easily get burned and end up with nothing but a large expensive paperweight. We learned that with our 8-basket hay tedder from the Agritier auction. We won it, we were thrilled with it, but once we started getting into the setup and maintenance, well, there was more work to be done than the listing indicated. That's not a knock on anyone. That's just the reality of buying used equipment at an auction. The only type of protection that you have is getting your eyes and your hands on the equipment before the bidding starts. That's what day one is for, and it's exactly what we did. So let me walk you through what we found and what it meant going into bid day. The item we spent the most time on was the disc harrows, and this is where things got genuinely interesting. First, for anyone who's newer to farming or homesteading, let me explain what the disc harrow actually does because it's one of the most versatile pieces of equipment you can have on a working farm. A disc harrow is a tillage tool pulled behind a tractor. It uses rows of curved, angled steel blades called disc gangs to cut through the soil, break up compaction, chop up residue, and prepare seed beds. On a pasture operation like ours, it's how you break up established sod, incorporate cover crops and organic matter back into the soil, and give your pasture the kind of mechanical disruption it needs to stay productive over time. Without a disc, you're managing your pasture from the surface down. With a disc, you're working with the soil itself. We found 2 disc harrows at this auction, and they were almost total opposites. And the decision between them is not as obvious as it looks. Disc number 1 is the older of the 2, and I'll be honest, it looks like it's been through some things. There's corrosion, there's a visible wear, you can tell this machine has been worked, but here's what I noticed immediately when we got up close. The disc gangs, front and rear, are the same, matched gangs. In our application, breaking up established sod and incorporating cover crops, that consistency gives you more aggressive cutting action across the full width of the pass. This is what you want when you're working on a field that's been in production. More importantly, and this is in the detail that can make or break a disc harrow purchase, the gang angle on the machine is adjustable. You can change how aggressively it cuts depending on what you're working with. Compacted clay or soil, just crank up the angle. Softer ground or lighter tillage to work on, just back it off. That versatility is significant on used machines. Yes, this disc is going to need some work, sandblasting, paint, possibly some more hardware, but the bones are solid. Disc number 2 is the cleaner looking machine. Newer, it photographs better, it will draw more bidders, and this is exactly where you have to slow down and look past the surface. When we looked at the rear disc gangs, they're smooth. Smooth rear disc gangs are designed for finishing and firming a seed bed, not for cutting aggressively through established sod. If our primary use is breaking up compacted pasture and working in cover crops, smooth rear discs are a real limitation. We also couldn't confirm if the gang angle was adjustable on this machine. Here's the lesson. Don't buy the machine that looks better. Buy the machine that does the job you actually need it to do. The older disc with the right bones, bought at the right price at this auction, that is a smarter purchase. Our target going into bid day is disc number 1. The other piece of equipment that captured our attention was a 2009 John Deere Square baler. Our primary operation runs round bales, and round bales are excellent for the bulk of what we do, but they come with a waste problem when you're managing smaller groups. When you unroll a round bale for a finishing pen or a small paddock of cattle, a significant amount ends up on the ground, trampled, wasted. Square bales just solve that, smaller, denser, and easier to portion. The 2009 John Deere is also a machine still in production today, which means parts are available and there's no shortage of mechanics who know it. That matters on a working farm as well. Honestly though, and I want to be straight with you, a square baler is a want for us right now, not a need. We watched this machine, we knew our number, and we were going to let that bidding tell us whether today was the right day or not. Spoiler alert, it wasn't, but I'll explain why in a minute and why that's actually just fine. Bid day is here, Martin's auction service, 353 lots. We've done our homework, we've got our numbers and our list, and we know exactly what we're going to be walking away with and what we're going to be walking away from. So let's go. Now, I have to be upfront with you about something before I get into the bid day results. This auction is heavily attended by the Amish farming community, and if you've ever been to Lancaster County or the farm auction there, you know that the Amish and the Mennonite communities are deeply involved in agriculture life here. They are serious, knowledgeable buyers, and they know farm equipment. When an Amish farmer is bidding against you on a piece of equipment, he has probably forgotten more about a machine than most people ever will learn. Out of respect for their religious beliefs, the Amish and many Mennonite communities do not want to be recorded or photographed. I didn't want to intrude on that, and I hope you'll understand. What I can share is the atmosphere, the scene, the equipment, and something I noticed that I honestly couldn't stop thinking about. As I was walking the lots and watching buyers start loading up their wins, I kept noticing that the tractors, many of which the Amish had driven to the auction pulling flatbed trailers, had metal tires. Not rubber, metal, solid steel wheels. I was curious enough to ask about it, and what I learned was genuinely fascinating. The Amish are not permitted to own or operate standard road vehicles, but farm tractors are allowed, because they are tools, not transportation. The problem, of course, is that a tractor with rubber tires on a paved road starts to feel an awful lot like a vehicle. It gets comfortable and tempting. So the rule in many Amish communities is this: when a tractor travels on public roads, it must have metal tires. Not because metal tires work better, they don't. They are slower, louder, and considerably less comfortable to ride on pavement. And that's the entire point. The discomfort is a physical reminder for them. It's a built-in deterrent against using a working tool as a convenience. I watched those tractors pulling flatbeds full of auction equipment out of the lot that day, clanking slowly down the road, and I thought for a long time, there is something almost poetic about it. In a world where every piece of technology is specifically designed to be as frictionless and comfortable as possible, here is a community deliberately choosing friction, choosing discomfort as a discipline. I am not Amish, but I respect that enormously, and I thought it might be interesting for you as well. All right, let's talk results. The tires, we won those. They are the right sizing for the ag sprayer, and that machine can finally get put to work. The fertilizer has been waiting long enough, and we are thrilled with this win. The disc, we won the disc number 1, the older one, the one with the matching gangs and the adjustable gang angle, and the corrosion that told us it had done real work. We walked away with exactly the machine that we evaluated at the right price. The hay wagons, we were outbid. We had our number, the bidding went past it, and we let them go. That's auction discipline. We didn't need wagons badly enough to overpay for them, and the right pair will come around. The square baler, the starting price came in higher than we were comfortable with for a piece of equipment that is a want for us right now, not a need. We didn't bid. We didn't regret it for a second. The right square baler at the right price is out there. We will keep our eyes open, and when the deal makes sense, we will move on it. But forcing a purchase on a want when the price isn't right, that's how you can really lose at an auction. All in all, it was a productive and successful trip out to the Churchtown Farms machinery auction. We came home with a disc harrow that is going straight to work on our pasture, and tires are finally going to get put on our sprayer and be able to get that out in the field into hay season. And that is a very good day. Now here comes the fun part. The disc needs some attention before it goes into the field. We're going to walk you through that process and the sprayer getting its tires, and then we're going to get serious about some pasture management and get some work ahead of us into this season. This equipment doesn't sit. There is work to do, and we will bring you along for every bit of that journey. If you've ever been to a farm equipment auction, live or online, or if you've got a strategy for evaluating used machinery before you put your money down on it, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more farm auction adventures along with all of our other farm activities. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one.